Hi, I'm Wendy Ventura, personal relationship coach. Thanks for joining me today. We're up to day 33 of the 40-day marriage challenge that we're doing. Yesterday we talked about loving at all times, which is really unconditional love. And part of that is what we're talking about today, and that's being able to discern the truth and to be able to test the story that we're telling ourselves. Many couples get into conflicts and really that can spiral out of control very quickly, that are based on our perception of reality, which is really not truth and not fact. And we can jump to wrong conclusions and have misunderstandings without having all the information. So having really clear, honest, open communication with our spouse is really essential to be able to bring everything into the open, to be able to talk about it, clear things up straight away so that we can maintain that peace and unity that's so important for us to be able to love our spouse at all times. And as you probably know, our beliefs determine our thoughts, which determine our feelings, which determine our behavior. And so what we're talking about today is to recognize those feelings, those strong and heavy emotions as they arise when something that our spouse might have said or done or even not done triggers this emotional response within us, to just take responsibility for that and find out what are the thoughts behind the emotion, and what is it that we're telling ourselves, and what is it that we're making that mean about ourselves. 9 times out of 10, if we follow this through, we can easily nip it in the bud, and it'll just deflate. As we correct those thoughts, our emotions will deflate, and we'll be able to keep on the right path with our relationship. So it's just a really clear, simple communication of being able to share your thoughts with your spouse. So if you're feeling frustrated over something they've said or done, just go up to them and say, look, this is the story I'm telling myself from this, and give them an opportunity to be able to clear up any misunderstandings, or maybe your perception is very, very different to how they meant it to be, or their intention behind it, and maybe they can fill you in with the missing information that would help you to change your thoughts about it, which will then change your feelings. So just a very simple example might be, say you go out on a coffee date and your spouse picks up the newspaper and starts reading, and you're left there feeling very sad, frustrated, and recognize that your thoughts are, maybe you're feeling, my spouse doesn't want to connect with me today. Maybe I don't have anything interesting or important to say. And before that spirals out of control, you just quickly bring it into the open and say, hey, when you picked up the newspaper, this is the story I started telling myself. And then, they give them an opportunity to help you to understand what's going on. So their intention might have just been, they missed the footy results last night and they just wanted to have a look and check in on that because it was bothering them, and then they could focus on the conversation and that they really did want to connect, and then you're back on a good path straight away. That's just a simple thing, but maybe that your spouse has come home really quiet and withdrawn, and you say what's up, and they don't really give any information. Happens a second night, a third night, even a whole week, and the story you start telling yourself might be something like, oh, my spouse has checked out of this relationship. My spouse is not interested in talking to me anymore. Maybe they're over this relationship, and maybe they've even found someone else, and it can very, very quickly spiral out of control. So instead of even waiting a whole week, after the first couple of nights, just say, hey, I notice you've been coming home quiet and withdrawn and haven't really wanted to connect with me. And the story I'm starting to tell myself from this is that you're not interested in talking to me, and you're maybe looking elsewhere to have those connections with other people, and give them an opportunity to share. And it may just be something simple as maybe they've gotten into trouble at work and been having meetings with the boss, and they didn't want to bother you, or they were embarrassed about it, and it was as simple as that. And 1 time out of 10, maybe the spouse has been amiss, and that would also give them an opportunity to be able to be honest about what's really going on, for you guys to be able to work through that. But 9 times out of 10, usually what happens is something is triggered in us, and it's usually related to a limiting belief we may have about ourselves, which is not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, or what's the other one? Not feeling lovable. And so that gives us an opportunity, as we be open and honest with our spouse, to be able to work on our own limiting beliefs and to become strong in our own identity as we work through those things. And often God uses the marriage as a way of transforming us into His image and helping us to have that secure identity in Christ, and to be able to overcome any limiting beliefs that we do have about ourselves. But these are often triggered in close proximity in experiences with our spouse, and so being able to talk about them and bring them into the light helps us also to become strong in who we are, and then to have a really strong and secure relationship as well. So really open, honest communication is the key, and being able to recognize your emotions as signals to be able to help you understand what your thoughts are that you're having and what story you might be telling yourself about this, and then, just discerning the truth and not allowing them to cause division or to lose that peace and the unity that you have in your relationship. I hope this helps, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.